Alright, today I'm going to show you how to do some basic maintenance and restoration to headlights, plastic headlights. So this kit is the one I use. It's the Sylvania restorations. You can research this for hours to see like which one's best and all that good stuff, but that's the one I found to be pretty good. Now I'm not going to talk about wet sanding or any kind of sanding. This is just basically for minor fading, minor yellowing, and minor hazing that we can buff out with a normal DA polisher. So the kit comes with essentially two parts. It's going to be the activator or the cleaner. So you want it nice and dry, and then basically spray this 10, 15, 20 pumps, whatever. Get it nice and coated, and you'll see this turning yellow. So this is going to try to remove any kind of remaining coating or anything, just to get a nice new surface that we can work with. So all this yellow is dirt and grime, and like I said, either the previous coating on here or coating that someone else put on. And then the other step is the actual UV block. So this is the clear coat, and this is some pretty nasty stuff. You definitely need to wear a glove when putting that on, because it'll stick to your fingers. So real easy. First step, put this in, and you're going to wait for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever you want to wait for, but at least 30. And then once that's done, we're just going to wipe it off with some water. And then after that is when you would go into your wet sanding. So coarse, 300, 400 grit, obviously with water, and then sand, and then 800 to 1,000, and then finally 2,000, and then the last step would be 3,000 to 3,500 sandpaper. Now that is going to get the extreme fogging and the extreme haze where you can barely even see your headlights. So that's real specific and a subjective process. A lot of people do it differently. Like I said, there's tons of videos out there on how to do that, but this isn't going to cover it. This is more or less the preventative maintenance type and the thing you should do kind of before you have problems. So this is what I would do before you have any serious hazing issues. So once that's all done, we're just going to wash this off with water. Very simple. Okay. And now, after this step, this is what I'm going to use. You can use any compound, but I'm using the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. Don't use anything with oils or silicones or silicas or whatever, because that's just not going to help with the final coating. And then just work it with your buffer. Find a happy medium of speed and pressure, obviously. Not too fast, not too slow. But I'm going to do this, and then I'll jump ahead of the video when I'm done. But essentially, if you can see like some, this might be inside if that doesn't come out, but hazing up here and then hazing down here, a little bit of fogginess that will get out. But we'll work that in, and then I'll come back afterwards. Okay, I like to use the orange pads. They're pretty universal and general use, but hopefully you can see the difference here. This is after like 2 minutes of buffing, so not a lot of time for quite a bit of improvement here. I didn't do any of this. It's all still hazy. Down here you can see a little bit of cloudiness that would probably benefit from some wet sanding, but it's pretty much out of the headlight area, and the customer, I mean, they don't really care. So we're just going to go ahead and keep buffing the rest of this and make it look like this, nice and beautiful. And then I'll show you the next step, but I'll take care of this and then I'll come back and show you the final step on how to apply the UV coat on here. So this actually lasts, because if you just do this and leave it, this cloudiness is going to come back after a few weeks, a month, whatever, depending upon your climate. So I'll finish that and then we will finish this project up. Okay, once all the buffing and sanding is done, you're going to want to spray the activator on again just to make sure we're 100% good to go. Everything's coming off of there before we put on the final sealant. You can put like protective film, 3M PPF on the headlights. Some people like to clear coat them with actual like an automotive paint gun type thing and spray on clear coat. But this specific Sylvania kit has pretty good reviews with the actual process, and then in this clear coat that's supposed to last a pretty long time. But I gotta do the other headlights still, and then wipe this off with water, and then finally I'll just show you how to apply this. You want to do both headlights at once, so you're not kind of bouncing between headlights. So when we're ready to do this, that's kind of the next portion, and you definitely want to wear a glove because this will stick to your fingers, and it's like as bad as super glue. So that's the last part, and we'll hit that next. Okay, now this is my least favorite part of all this. It's so messy and critical. So here you just basically want to start from one corner, like so, and then come down this way in one swipe, slightly overlap the last, and so on and so forth. So we're going to take this UV blocker coater, very carefully put it on this, like so, and then 1, 2. It says be careful not to overlap, so, or do too much. You can overlap slightly, but not go over the same area twice is what I'm getting at. So there's 3, and oops, last little corner there, and that's it. Now you want to wait about 4 to 6 hours before letting this sit in the sun or water or any kind of cleaning, but this should form a super hard coating, like a shell, if you will, over the lens. And according to all the reviews and this product, it should last a fair amount of time. Now this bumper cover is another story, how this gets faded. CRVs are pretty known for that, but that's another video. But it looks like really good result, and the owner's going to be happy, and most importantly the light's going to shine through the lens. So that's it. I'm going to show you one more video of the LS430, how those turned out, because those are 23, almost 24 years old now, and they turned out really well. So that'll be the last part of the video up next, and thanks for watching. So here's the LS430. This is 01 to 03. These are West Coast headlights, and they're from 2001. And you can see, I mean, there's some peeling on the inside here, but for the most part this buffed out fine. I didn't have to wet sand this either. And what's nice is these, you don't have to remove the bumper. They changed that in 04 where you have to remove the bumper, but there's just screws on the inside, and then there's like a little plug here that pops into the headlight, but there's no actual screws under here. So these are super easy to remove in case you have to change the bulbs. These side marker bulbs, the 168s, those commonly fail. The blinkers, surprisingly are fine after all these years, but I know on newer 07 and up I had a problem with my Tundra and my GX where the paint would fall off the bulb and then the turn signal would be almost clear, not orange anymore. But like I said, these have been coated and buffed and not wet sanded at all, so these turned out really well. Same with the driver's side. So if you're looking for a cheap way, I mean, that kit was only 10-12 bucks or something, and it's good preventative maintenance. It doesn't require a lot of effort, but it can keep your headlights in really good condition for many years to come. So